So this panel is designing product and services for the financially excluded. So can I come to you, Norah? When which part of Mexico again are you operating this model as a first step? In which city?
In Puebla. It's in a small town called San Martín Texmelucan.
And how long does it take for you to get from here from London to there?
Oh no, wow. I mean, for me?
Yes, physical transport to meet the clients.
No, well, it's an 11-hour flight, and then it's a 2-hour from Mexico City to San Martín Texmelucan.
And how did you then design your product when you designed the concept when they're so far away?
So I guess that was one of my first mistakes. So I'm a weird entrepreneur because I actually say the truth. No, I mean, honestly, I don't mind. I mean, look, and I read the lean startup and everything, but I still made the mistake. So I know it's just incredible, but you get just so carried away with the idea that I hired here the best product designer and the best backend developer, and they developed this Ferrari of an app, and it was just so beautiful. And I knew because they had told me that we need like a WhatsApp for savings. So I told my designer, design the WhatsApp for savings, and he designed the WhatsApp for savings, and I thought it was amazing. And when we finally took the innovation, of course, this was incredibly difficult because you think it's going to be so easy, but when you're handling people's money, it's not easy because then you come into regulatory barriers, and then you realize that you're actually doing what the bank does. So you actually needed a banking license to do that. And so lots of problems. But when we finally took the innovation to Mexico and I put it in the hands of the real users, they didn't like it. They didn't want to use it, and I thought it was beautiful. But obviously, they tell me, okay. So the first thing that you encounter is that you go and all the government statistics tell you that there is now internet in San Martín Texmelucan. But you come to San Martín Texmelucan, and yes, there is one corner store that has Wi-Fi access, and the rest of the town doesn't.
But it does have internet access.
Exactly, it does. It does. But then, and the corner shop charges per minute to give them access or whatever. So that's the first thing. And then you go with your cellular and just think, okay, well, with my 4G, they can connect to my hotspot. Well, no, there's no 4G. There's no 3G. Okay, no, so no, that didn't happen. And when we finally were there, just chasing the 3G, and we got the 3G. It took ages for the app to download. And that was when we finally got it to download. But in most of the smartphones, because that's the other government statistic, now 95% of the population has smartphones, of course, but these are not iPhones, okay? So these smartphones, they had no capacity for another app. And I was, okay, so now I realized that, I need to delete everything on your phone, and this was designed. It was obviously one of the. It was a light app, let's say. It didn't, but still there was nothing. So then I realized that they had basically one app in their small smartphone, and it's Facebook.
I was going to say it's a Facebook phone, right?
And it's Facebook because it's pre-installed, and that's the app that they use. And when I told them, okay, I need to delete Facebook in order to in order to download my app, they looked at me like, can I have my phone back? So, look, if I can tell you, so I've been designing this product for 2 years, and I think it was Thomas Edison who said, I haven't failed, I just have 100 ways that it doesn't work. So I'm still pivoting, and now I realize I do believe that the future is in messaging, and I want to develop this app, but for Facebook Messenger. And I think now that Facebook is actually launching native payments for Messenger, I think that's the future. But going back to what Nadim said, yes, but 5-10 years from now, because yes, smartphones are out there, yes, internet is out there, but it's all, it's super how do you say? I think the sugar coated. All these statistics are sugar coated.
Yeah.
When you go out into the field, you realize that that's not the truth, and it's incredibly difficult. But what I did see is they want technology. They do. They want to adopt technology, but for financial services, I think that's even more difficult because at least in Mexico, and I don't know in the rest of the countries, but people do not trust banks, right? And they don't. They trust Facebook more than they trust a bank.
How did you change your approach this was before you launched in November, right? This happened.
It was launching in November.
Okay. So how have you changed the design philosophy and thinking? And I want you to talk a little bit more about your business model as well. But before we do that, could you talk a little bit about your actual service? So how do your customers engage with your service? So you talked about it being a savings group with me. Could you describe to the audience here, how does the interaction work?
Okay, but I'm going to change it again.
Please.
No. I mean, I'll tell you how it works now,
yes,
but it's not how it's going to work in the future. Sure. Okay. So what I did once I realized of all of those challenges is I did a partnership with a microfinance institution, and I'm a bit worried because I don't want to get into trouble here. I'm looking.
This is a safe house.
Which I honestly I didn't want to do, but I had to because of what Susan was saying. No, it's there is this huge gap still between technology and what's really happening out there, and I needed the sales force of the microfinance institution to be able to convince people to download the app and to use it and to trust it. And the microfinance agents are incredibly trusted. I mean, almost like priests, you know. And I don't like it. I wish it was not that way, but it is, at least in Mexico and from what I've seen. But I can tell you, not only Mexico, I mean, at least the rest of Latin America is the same thing. They really, really trust them. And I understand why as well. These are the first people that they go into their homes every week. They know them by name. And they are the ones that, for the first time ever, have lend them money. The issue is, again, the interest rates, I mean, how much do they actually understand about what interest rate they're paying? They just understand that they are making small payments. So it's all of that issues. But I had to make that partnership in order to start seeing, you know, getting to those first 100 users. So it's not even beyond that. And then we realized that the sales force said, okay, we are getting a lot of interest, but they don't only want to use the app for saving. I mean, it's working because we are opening up savings accounts for them. But they want to use it to get the first turn, so basically to obtain a microcredit. And they said, so we need to design for that. And I said, okay, fine, we'll design for that. And that's what we have been developing now. But now we've come to a point where we have this, oh my God, I'm so going to get into trouble. But the thing is, okay, I made this innovation and I have it and I did what the customer asked me to do. But the only way that I'm launching this new version is if the interest rate is lower than the normal loan that they give. And the microfinance institution tells me this is more risk, not less risk.
Yes.
So, but I think that if we can scale this up, you know, we won't need its volume and we won't need as many sales agents, so the operations cost should come less, so the interest rate should be less. And they tell me, no, it's more risk, so the interest rate should be more. And I'm like more than 90%. I mean, honestly, that's the same thing as, you know,
Sure.
So I'm just not willing to do that.
So just quickly, in the business model you have today, what is the business model? You do revenue share with the microfinance institution?
Exactly.
And that revenue share takes care of the operating costs?
Well, my operating costs, we are 4 people. And for them, it's just a tiny increment.
Yeah.
Because these people are selling them insurance, they're selling them now foreign exchange, they're selling them loads of things. So the truth is that the cost is, but that would be the business model. If we were to launch this new version, it would be the revenue share. But that's a problem. I'm not willing to do it. So now I want to completely change and design something for Facebook, and so that people don't have to download a new app. They can just use their messenger that they're used to, and
absolutely.
So stay tuned.